Hello everyone. So this video is about me checking in with you all because about 4 days ago I made a video about doing a preparation process to activate the light body with Adrienn Light, and I said that after the 4 days I would come back to you with my experience and talk about it. And I'm very happy to be doing that. So a little while ago, I interviewed Adrienn Light on the topic of pranic living and her experience of it, and it was such a interesting talk. And obviously, this is something that I've been really interested in for such a long time. And so I was very pleased to interview Adrienn. And she kind of came into my path quite sort of spontaneously, really. And but in my experience, with my interest in this area of life, I never really had any success myself in integrating this kind of lifestyle for myself. And so I'd really kind of given up on it for myself, really. And so doing this interview with Adrienn was a really inspirational for me. And as a result of doing the interview with her, sorry, someone's just coming.
Someone? Your husband?
As a result of doing the interview with Adrienn, she I wasn't expecting this, but she suggested that I do the process with her, the preparation process to activate the light body. And I was kind of, it really caught me by surprise. Like I say, I wasn't expecting to do this. And, as soon as she asked me about it, I just thought, well, yeah, this is it. I'm going to do it because I so connected with everything she said on the interview. And it just felt right, just the fact that really it's all about your connection with source and about love, and that really is the foundation for it all. And it's not as much as on the surface of things living a pranic lifestyle can look like that you're not eating anymore or something like that. It really isn't. It's really not about that, actually. But eating less or eating much less can be a kind of natural consequence of it, because you are just channeling much more energy from source, from love. So it really does make sense. But the emphasis is certainly not to stop eating or not to eat, or it's really nothing. It's just to do with that. It's just we use the fasting to make that connection with the source. It takes away the distraction of eating big meals, and it helps to cleanse the body so that you can establish that connection to your source, to love. So that's really what it's all about. And I wasn't expecting to do this, but I decided to jump in at the deep end and do it, because like I said before, I'd really kind of given up on any ideas of doing something like this. And I think also that I realized that this isn't something that you can force. This isn't something that you can, it's not a diet. It's not a regimen. It's not anything like that. It's more of an opening of your heart center, and it's something that you kind of are just sort of ready to do, because it's really not about forcing your body to do anything. It's about that willingness, that openness to really open up to the source. Anyhow, so I started this process, and it's been 4 days long, this preparation process, in the lead up to doing a 7-day process, a light activation process in the future with Adrienn. So to consolidate it even further. But during these 4 days, I have had some, ups and downs, as you can expect. And the first 2 days were very strong in the physical sense, physical detox. And, and I really felt that a lot of fears and things and tension and, mixed in with bodily tension and bodily fatigue, and detoxification in those first 2 days. So I found it quite tough. And, but it's something about the exercises and the meditations that we do, the breathing. It really does help you to start making that connection. And in the third day, there was a shift. I felt a shift. And I was able to establish sort of a bit more of a balance, and I felt a shift on the third day. And Adrienn is really wonderful at guiding you through this. She really tunes into what's going on with you and what's going on with your spirit. And it's a very supportive environment to be in during the process, and you feel like you're very much cared for during this process. Hi, who are you who said hello to me? I can't see your name, but thanks for saying hi. Yeah, and then the fourth day, which was yesterday, was amazing. I was just I felt like I was sort of flying. And, my energy now with, the fifth day is great. I still feel an element of physical detox, on some level I can feel that the body is still kind of getting rid of things. And maybe on all the levels still, everything's kind of still, not settled, but I feel really strongly connected. And I have to say that I think this is the first time ever, actually. I think it's the first time ever, perhaps, or maybe I felt it as a child, as a really young child or something. But I'm sure I would have felt it as a child, because children are so connected. But in my adult life, this is the first time I felt really super connected through my heart center. And I had to personally work through a lot of heart center things. I felt a lot of physical pain in my heart, sort of back area around my heart. And it was all centered around love and, and the capacity to feel love, to receive love and to give love. And it was all kind of around this area. And I had to really work through a lot of that pain there and blocks in that area, emotional blocks. And so that was really incredible to see that kind of melt away during the course of this process. And I'm really glad that I persevered with it, because like I say, halfway through, I was sort of wondering if I was going to be able to carry on. It was quite intense, but Adrienn was able to help me to make the shift a little bit and to adjust the balance of things. And so, yeah, it worked really well. Now, obviously, I'm delighted that I've done it. And Adrienn says that once you establish this connection, it's like riding a bike. Once you learn how to ride a bike, you don't forget how to ride it. So if you stop riding it for a while, you can just get back on and ride it again. So there's no fear for me about losing this connection, or at least I don't want to let fear come into that aspect of me, because I understand that it's something that I can always go back to. So if I stop having that strong connection for a while, I can go back to it. So it's it's like once you've experienced something, that's it. It's there. It's part of you. And yeah, it's just incredible to feel this way and to feel this energetic and to feel like actually I could just go on and on and on like this. But you know, there's a balance that you need to find in life, and I'm going to find that out. You know what that balance is. But yeah, what it's really sort of highlighted for me is that underneath everything, the most important thing is love. It's absolutely the most important thing. You can do any diet in the world. You can, you know, you can do any regimen, any sort of program, but unless there's love in it, unless the foundation of it is love and openness and connection with your source, then it's meaningless. I think it's completely meaningless. So my one major insight out of all of this is that everything is to do with love, and everything is to do with having an open heart. And that's what nourishes us. That's what gives us the vitality, the energy, the inspiration, the passion, you know, just that's it. And, you know, I've only just finished this process. So who knows where this is going to go? Maybe I'll swing back off and back to my sort of old, sort of slightly disconnected state, or maybe I'll return to it, you know, or maybe I'll just continue now with this and find a balance. And, you know, I don't really know, but I just know that I've experienced this connection now. That's it. I've experienced it, and it is amazing. And, you know, I'm inspired to keep that connection going, you know, because I have to be honest and say that, yeah, I have had a lot of suffering in my life, as most humans do. You know, it's a thing that happens to humans is suffering, and I've had a lot of it, and I'm sure loads of other people have had a lot of it. You know, the most of humanity have had a lot of it. And it's just incredible to feel that I've kind of really looked at that and really kind of embraced it with love. I haven't tried to get rid of it or, you know, do something with it. I've just embraced it. I've just taken it in, and I've just dissipated it. I just kind of embodied it and owned it and sort of given it the love that it needs. So, yeah, it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. And I recommend, you know, if you feel that it's something that you resonate with, then absolutely go for it, because Adrienn is amazing, and she's a really beautiful woman, and I'm just so grateful to, you know, have come across her. You know, I didn't really search for her, she just kind of came along, so I guess I was just ready to do it, and that's quite nice. And, you know, I wasn't on any special diet before this happened. I was eating, you know, like a maniac. So it's not about necessarily being on a certain diet or anything like that. It's just, it's an openness in the heart. I think it's a sort of readiness. And like I say, I'd given up. So perhaps that was how I was somehow ready for it. I'd given up trying to control myself in certain ways, because I'd tried and failed so many times. Obviously, like during the process, there's an element of perseverance, of kind of getting through that tricky detoxification stage. You know, there's an element of needing to, you know, persevere with that, for sure. But, you know, if it's done with love, then it's different. If it's done out of fear, then there's a big difference between the two. So I was always constantly being reminded by Adrienn about this, you know, how everything is stemming from love. And I had very much had that awareness while I was doing it. I knew what it was all about, and I didn't feel like I was just, you know, I didn't feel in a fearful state as such. I just felt that it was quite tough in those first 2 days, but I knew I needed to persevere with it. Yeah, so I don't really know what else I have to say on it, but please feel free to ask me any questions if you have any. I'm sure there's lots of more things that I could say, but right now I can't think of anything else. So If you want to ask me some questions now before I clock off, then please do. Otherwise, just leave some questions. Hi, who's that? Because I can't see who you are. I don't know what your name is, but hi, thank you. Yeah, feel free to ask any questions if you want to, either here live or later on. And I've left Adrienn's details in the description so you can get in touch with her if you'd like to. I'm pleased that I'm going to be meeting her actually in person when I go and perform at the Pranic Festival in Italy in June. So that's exciting. Meanwhile, as a little side note, on the 21st of April, I'm going to France for 3 weeks to go to a horse sanctuary and to learn more about animal communication and natural horsemanship. So that's an exciting thing for me, and I'm going to be documenting that as well on here too. So that will be really nice. All right, well, if there's no questions for now, I'm going to say goodbye. And I hope you've enjoyed this sort of feedback from the process, from the preparation process. Oh, don't worry. You can watch it now when I've gone. And I'm sorry I can't see your name, so I'm not too sure who's right in the comments, but thank you. So thank you everyone for watching, and I hope you have a lovely day. And yeah, I guess I'll just keep you updated here and there about how my general balance and journey is going. But for now, it's great, and yeah, and enjoying this new sort of perspective on life. All right, lots of love to everyone, and speak to you very soon. Lots of love. Bye.